this is Tyron Metalhead Weatherman. Hopefully, you guys have had a good week. Finally pushing towards the weekend, and I can't wait because maybe I can finally rest and shake off this cold a little bit. Do want to apologize because I wasn't able to pull off a video last night. I've been pushing myself to kind of work throughout the this entire cold here, and it hasn't really done me too many favors. So, yeah, it's been pretty rough. I tried to make a video this morning, by the way. I actually shot it, and it's actually right here. But I never was really able to get to that point where we could, you know, where we could get the video uploaded. The production was able to go through, but the upload process never worked. So unfortunately, that's 20 minutes of my life that I wasted, and and I'm pretty sure if you were looking around like, what's happened here? If so, I do apologize. It's just been that kind of week. That being said, I'm here now, so let's go ahead and talk about the weather. We'll kind of cover the weekend forecast, and then we're also going to go ahead and take a look a little further out ahead with the Euro today. We're going to try to hone in on some of the parameters as well, especially with the severe weather threat. This first big system that's coming in, I'm more so concerned about snow than I am severe weather at first. As time goes on, I think the severe weather threat ramps up more and more. So let's go ahead and jump over to Sunday, because Friday and Saturday the severe threat is relatively minimal, but not much has really changed here. We talked about this the other day. This area here, it's a marginal risk. Main reason we're not super concerned about this is because there is some warm air aloft that is basically going to hinder this area of storms from developing right now. Now, there could be some upper level forcing here that could potentially cause these storms to fire still. The question is, how much will that warm air limit the potential of this environment? And it's not a very impressive environment as far as potential energy is concerned. You can even look at the synopsis here. This doesn't really talk even about like the Cape values or anything like that, so to speak. The warm mid-level temperatures are just going to basically hinder any sort of storm development or anything to be anything of greater significance. Damage and wind gusts and hail are still possible, but as far as anything beyond that, I wouldn't be too concerned as of right now. If something changes, I will let you know. Let's go ahead and look through days 4 through 8 as well while I'm at it. Might as well. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. No real surprises there. Predictability too low. We'll just have to watch, especially towards Tuesday and Wednesday. Very much interested, very vested in those days. Then, of course, I'm also watching day 8 in particular. Day 7 could have severe weather as well, but the 28th also looks like a pretty robust time. So, in the meantime here, let's go ahead and take a look at the blizzard that could be, that's heading into the north, that's working its way through the northwest right now. Plenty of snow on the backside of this, but towards the coastal northwest here, we're dealing with some warm rain. We're dealing with some warm rain here, actually, which is pretty nice for you guys. Up towards the higher elevations, we could be looking at some snowfall, maybe heavy at times, but so far nothing really impressive here. I'm more or less just trying to look around here and see if there's anything here in particular that would lead me to think that there could be any sort of blizzard-like conditions. And from what I see on the sounding, I don't think so. So we'll see how things progress here, and maybe on the eastern side of this low pressure here, as it goes to about 990, maybe we could get a little something there, but it doesn't look super robust. Not to mention, I'm thinking this is for the higher elevations. We'll also need to watch this storm system right here. This could become a coastal storm. Mainly going to be a warm base coastal storm, so rain is going to be in the forecast potentially for the northeast. Beyond that, though, this is where things get a little bit more interesting the further we get into the Rockies. A little bit heavier snow is in the forecast here. I may actually go ahead and take a look at the wind readings as well. But you can also tell that this is going to be in the higher elevations without question. In fact, those winds are only going to happen normally over the mountains, mid-level. So, yeah, it's just it's a lot going on here. But good news is no blizzard right now. I'm sure no one's really complaining about. So here we are at the 24th. Oh, actually, we're going to go ahead and look back at the 23rd or here. So I don't really see too much of anything firing from the Euro. GFS was pretty much showing the same thing. Towards the 24th, that's when things start to get interesting. We look to get this line segment of storms towards the southern plains here. I'm mainly thinking our threat's going to be damaging winds and hail. Definitely leaning more towards damaging winds. Spin up tornado isn't impossible, but relatively unlikely, I would say. We'll go back and take a sounding of this too. And we'll kind of just roll from that point. Yeah, this doesn't even have the look of even a linear type of system right now, so it's going to be hard to hone in on this. This could be just another marginal risk. I think towards the 25th is when things look a little bit more robust. Kind of picks up in the latter half of the day, especially looking more towards southeastern Texas, maybe towards the Gulf Coast here for a potential severe threat. I don't think the sounding's really going to... Yeah, it does pick up on something, but it's not super impressive. There is some instability here, but the Cape values aren't very impressive right now. We're having a hard time picking up on Cape, and then on top of that, Cape values during this time of year aren't going to be the highest regardless. So, more complications to the forecast. So, move this along here, and it looks like the southeast may be in line for a severe weather threat towards the middle of the week. I'm kind of leaning towards more of a heavy rain threat, though, personally speaking. We pretty much have talked the snow totals for this area here to death. So we're going to kind of talk more about the severe side and other parameters here. Mainly, we're going to be talking about the cap that's going to be over this region coming up. And then we'll also see if there's any sort of cap over these regions here over the 24th and the 25th. That's going to be a key factor in whether or not more severe weather is possible next week. So we'll roll this along. And the brighter the colors, remember, the brighter the colors, the stronger the cap is. We have a pretty robust looking cap here, already starting to set itself into place here. Yeah, it's definitely looking like these storms are going to be very limited here. And then towards the 24th, cap really doesn't look all that impressive. Storms are more likely to fire in this area for sure. And then towards the 25th, it doesn't look too much different. So it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold with that. As far as the other parameters here, we're mainly going to be looking more towards the 24th and 25th for the Cape. As I said before, around here, just there isn't really much going. Okay, here we go. 24th, we start to build up some slightly higher Cape values, especially towards the southeastern part of Texas here. We're starting to get into the 1400s and 1500s right here, more than sufficient enough for a severe thunderstorm. Definitely something with a straight line wind gust. And then towards the 25th, we'll probably expect that Cape to come up a little bit higher towards the next model run. It'll be really interesting to see how the shorter range models play with the Cape values here, because that's going to be really foretelling on what we may have here. But beyond that, the upper level winds aren't really impressive with this at all. I'm not super worried about any tornado threat at the moment. If something changes, of course, like I said before, I will let you know. So let's go ahead and take a look at the longer range Euro here. This is from 12Z. It's a little earlier, but we're going to kind of jump ahead a bit now. We're going to go ahead and maybe move to about 108 hours out once this loads. And then kind of look at the parameters further out. Just try to get an idea of what else could be in store here, especially towards the 25th here. Okay, This is about where we were. So here's our low pressure here. Here's a line of storms popping up as well. And this looks like it tries to hold together through the southeast, but it just doesn't look super robust. I do think this is a rain threat, and we also have a coastal storm that pops up here. No, this is not tropical, but it does look like it's going to make a setup for a wet northeast towards the middle of the week. And then we have this, what looks like almost a Clipper-esque type system that comes in through the Rockies and dumps a little bit more snow. It's relatively light for the most part. Then towards the 28th, this is one day that I'm really interested in. Not a super strong low pressure, but this line does look pretty impressive right now. Don't know if it's the wisest decision to go with the sounding right now, but the temperatures over here look like they're a little bit more towards bleh. We could get some early morning thunderstorms, and then later in the day some stronger storms pop up. And this almost has a slightly multicellular look. Does this look like it could be a more multi-dimensional severe setup? Hard to say. I'm not even getting Cape value readings over here. And then from the looks of it, the temperatures are in the 60s, and then dew points in the 50s. A little tougher to overcome that kind of those kinds of conditions, but there does look like there is a slight bit of turning with the winds here at the low levels. We'll have to see how this progresses here, but that definitely piques my interest a little bit more. And then this looks like it congeals into a line of storms, maybe goes to the southeast, and then out that goes, and then the next storm system comes in towards the start of Halloween, mainly for the northeast. I do think that it's going to be the same situation as what we're dealing with right now. Coastal showers towards the northwest, and then towards the higher elevations, that's when we start to get to that snow, maybe even some heavy snow, maybe even a wintry mix towards the valleys, but beyond that, really not too much going on there. Go ahead and take a look at the dynamics here for the severe weather. We'll look at the mix there, Cape once again. Okay. Just wait for this to load here. And there we go. So here's our Cape situation. 12Z isn't really picking up on Cape the same as the 18Z is. Of course, with us being in a closer range model, confidence is a little bit higher. But look at the values towards 28th. That's something I definitely find alarming. Over here, we have some areas that are sitting towards 2,300, maybe even the 2,500 isn't possible. Is very possible around here. Move this along, and then I'm not really expecting the southeast to get any Cape readings, given how far out this is right now. So, it's pretty hard. Pretty hard to kind of forecast that. We have seen on this. We have seen on the channel where we have looked at that system on the 28th. And it kind of has that trough ejection look to it, just a little bit, but it's not as robust as this upcoming system here. Even so, I think the severe weather chance on the 28th might actually be a little bit greater as it stands right now. Keep in mind, I put extra emphasis on right now, because this can easily go the other way in just a moment. It's hard to tell for a storm that hasn't even really popped up yet. Oops, I meant to go to 90 hours out. So here we are, 90 hours out. There is a little bit of warm air aloft, and this could limit the severe weather threat for the southeast as well. But Cape also the cap here looks like it also kind of fades. So there's a little bit of uncertainty with this as well. And then towards the 28th, cap is a lot lighter. Storm potential is a lot higher. So I do think that the potential for a severe weather threat towards the end of the month is that much greater now. So again, we'll be keeping a close eye on this. We'll start looking at the jet stream probably Sunday, as I'm maybe going to take another look at the wintry side of the upcoming systems. We already know what's going on with this system right now. I may do a little update later, but we'll see how things progress here. But this is all I got for this video here. I feel honestly awful right now. I'm still trying for you guys though. I appreciate all the recent viewership. I appreciate you guys subscribing, and I'm trying to push through it for you all. So that being said, if you like what I did in this video, definitely drop me a like. Will probably lift my spirits up too. But definitely let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the next couple storms after this one. And you want, should I start tagging my socials on here, so that way if you happen to be in an affected area, that you may be able to send me pictures of the weather, whether it's storms or snow. Just make sure you do so safely. That's one thing I would ask. But enough rambling from me. This has been Tired Metalhead Weatherman. I'm going to get some rest, and I'll probably be making a video for you guys in the morning. Till then, I will see you. Have a good night. Oh boy. Jesus Christ. I feel like shit. Dude, what the fuck?